Hello all, hope you are doing good. Today we are going to discuss how to enable debug or how to debug REST API calls using Eclipse IDE. So let's start. So first step is to start your server in debug mode. To do that, you have to open the Java EE perspective. So this is the button, and from there this is the default option for my IDE. So if I select that, so my perspective got changed, and you see servers tab here. So under that it will contain the already available servers. So to start or restart server in debug mode, right click on that particular server and restart in debug. This is the option you have to select so that it will start your server in debug mode. So since I have already started my server in debug mode, so it is showing as debugging. So the second step is to have REST API calls which are already deployed in a server and properly running. So this session is not going to explain how to write REST API calls or what are the major annotations or how control flow goes. This session is just to show how to enable debug in Eclipse IDE to debug the REST calls. So first step is already done, and I have the REST API calls in my application, and I want to debug this part, this API today. So to debug, as most of you know, debugging is nothing but stopping the or breaking the execution of a application or program. So using that you can go through the variable values at runtime. So at runtime, what are the values are replaced, or if there is any exception, what causes that exception. So those things you can easily identify. So since I'm debugging this API, I have added this breakpoint here. So if you see the URL, the class level part goes like this: go to and slash. To trigger this part, post is the sub path. So if you append both, this is the complete path which contains the URL to this particular REST API. So it will be part of the URL. So it contains, by the original URL contains or ends with this to reach this part. So since I'm doing something, some business logic here. So this business logic, to reach this part, I'm consuming something from the request. So to consume, this is the annotation, and I'm consuming some JSON content from the request. So to consume that, this is the annotation, and I'm replying back, or I'm responding back with the same JSON content. So this is the annotation for that, consumes and produces. So since I'm consuming something from the request, so I have added or decorated with post annotation here. So this is the complete flow, whatever added here. This is the business logic. It can definitely vary from API to API. So let's start. To see the debugging flow, we have to open the Eclipse perspective in debug mode. So to do that, you have to select the debug and OK. I'm using Postman client, REST client for URLs. So my URL looks like this. Whatever this part is common to all APIs which are available in my application. So this part will vary from API to API, or this part varies from API to API which is belongs to this class level API. So since this method accepts HTTP method type as post, I have to pass the request using post, and which this method consumes JSON content. So I have to, in the body, I have to pass some JSON content, and I should say that I'm passing this type of content using this option. This is the option you have to select. So if you trigger the send button, so as you can see, control breaks here in the breakpoint line number 44, and the whatever data you passed, it is replaced, or using that there is an object, employee object got created, and the values are replaced in that object. So whatever business logic I perform here, and once that is done, I'll respond using the same object. Whatever data I received from the request, same thing I'm returning, responding with. So as most of you know, Eclipse IDE provides a set of buttons for debugging. So this resume will resumes your control flow from one breakpoint to the other. Means that if you have one breakpoint at line number 44, and there is one more in the same method, there is one more breakpoint in line number 47, so it will not go to the 45, 46, 47, directly it will go to the next breakpoint wherever it is. So since in this business logic, in this method, the related business logic, there is a method add element. So I have added one more breakpoint here. So if I click on resume, this flow will break at add employee method. You see. So similarly, there are a few more buttons: step into, step over, step return. Those are very useful for the debugging perspective. So if I click on, since control break here, so since there are no other breakpoints, if I resume the control, it will directly completes the request processing logic, and it will return back to the client with the response. So if you check the client, as you can see, same thing, whatever we sent as part of request body, so same thing you can see as part of response body. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.